I've already seen a couple hearses in the footage so far, so this is not a good sign. Hope everybody's doing well. I know the music is still loud. We're still in the intro. But good evening. One more day before your mods break. Anyone excited for race day? I'm certainly interested to see the quality of it. It's the later. We're fixing it later. Now is the later. How soon is now? Asked Morrissey in 1984. And tonight we get our answer. It's now. Actually, I don't know. What year did Meat is Murder come out? What year? 85, I was close. Is Todd gone? We had a Todd before, right? I'll have to bring him back. We certainly, I mean, we have Todd if we need Todd.
It allows us to have 16 times the detail. It allows us to have 16 times the detail.
There you go. I hit a little better that time. Tell him about the lighting.
All new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology.
And tell him about the edge of map fog.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
See, Todd's here in spirit. You know, I will get the icon back though. The emote. Okay, Monster Cat down tempo shuffle for now. I am going through all the different playlists and stuff. That's too loud. Okay, that should be a little better. Okay. So we get the Monster Cat going. We're loaded up into River Run. Here we work on some projects. Wanted to use it when you said get ready for your mods to break. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully if you're sticking to some of the tried and true, it may not be that big of a deal, but the more abstract and the more you're trying to change the game rather than just moving stuff around is fairly safe. But changing game mechanics, simulations and stuff like that can really mess up on some of these updates. So hopefully whatever you're using is still getting updates. Definitely back up your saves, and if you're on PC, which is where the main problem would happen, that's where the mods are, let's be honest. So the mods are what's probably going to break. You can turn off updates and then go Steam offline mode to prevent the update from happening if you want to play tomorrow. Of course, you can't play the content if you do that. But if you don't want to bother with updating your mods in the middle of the week, maybe you want to save it for the weekend, that is an option. Do we have, it is working. Okay, that's nice. That's a nice feature. I don't think they offered that through Epidemic. I should look though before I say. Maybe they do, I don't know. Apps, new. They do have a desktop app. I wonder if you can, I guess I could just feed the data from the browser, but that's not as fun with the album art and all that. They make it easy, I will say. Okay, Central Park burned really, really bad today. Yeah, get ready for your mods to break. I mean, we do have a Bethesda holdover of the $70 game. But yeah, we'll get Todd back. Okay, let me see here. What are we working on? Changing time of day. Sorry, that's abrupt. That's some coffee in your veins. So we're coming along with the coastline structure over here. This suburb is nicely cut off now. There's a hill there. We've got the coastal road. There's a reason why those houses stop, and it's using this space a lot better now. Kind of crammed in a little bit more to the highway. We've still got to do something with the industrial area right underneath the camera right now, but at least as far as this side is concerned, I'm a lot happier with that up till here. And then I've got to work on this park a little bit, fill out this space, but we're also not populating as much down here on what is predominantly a coastal highway to traverse between the major areas. It's not zoned at all, so there's not necessarily a reason for there to be stuff right here. You wouldn't come hang out by the highway. So maybe the park kind of cutting off where it does is totally fine. Although this road down here doesn't make an awful lot of sense in that case. Unless we put something for them to kind of drive into up here, which, maybe we can. But that's a little longer term. I definitely want to, I was going to say gut, but I need to really change how these are tied in to the coast and maybe have a little underpass here instead of the obvious overpass, come into another neighborhood on the side there. And then north side of all this, I don't know, I think of the orientation this way for whatever reason. I know it's probably not right. But up here, I still need to figure out how to edge this off. And it's a PG-13 stream. So let's see. A lot of stuff that we could do. I really kind of want to figure out. Actually, I want to check something real quick. How bad is the park? Yeah, you can tell. You can tell almost every tree caught fire. A couple didn't down here on the end. These they put out before they burned. The rest of the park, every single building was on fire at one point. It's pretty nasty. We made it though without any collapsed structures, which is nice. I forget, was this was one of the more recent ones, wasn't it? What is this from? That's a person. The Shops of Shibari. What, I don't even remember what it was called. Let's get that starting out of there. Has anyone seen this bug? Is this just me? Is it still happening? Oh, it's not. Okay, good. So I had a bug where like you couldn't see the icon at the intersection for either a stop sign or the light in the center. If you knew like where to position the cursor, you could still like turn it on or off and like see the thing appearing. But it was really disconcerting to not actually be able to see like where you're supposed to zoom in. You could see the lights appearing and the stop signs appearing and not, but yeah, it happened to me for 2 game sessions in a row and I thought I broke something. So it's nice that at the last reset fixed it. May see it again though, apparently, because I was able to get it to repeat. Stop, come on. Whatever.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Can you make a park? Sorry, what is it? Can you make a park 2 zone blobs in console? I mean, I don't. What do you? How do you mean? Like two single zone squares? Or are you talking about blobbing together 2 parks? Because you can. The zoning should work the same way. I don't think I use that trick anywhere. I mean, we have the. Oh, that's districts. You have to go into the park tool, don't you? In the UI. I was gonna say, because those should not be overlapping like that, but they don't. I don't know why this park is so big. You can see here that I do have this park set up that is charging people as they go through the campus. It's kind of stupid, and I might do away with it. But it was on the path to $1 billion, and I wanted every bit of profitability we could squeeze, and there was a lot of money being wasted. Why have they not picked up the body here? Maybe it's a fresh. I was gonna say maybe it's a fresh one. It's in the orange. Somebody sucks at the pole vault, apparently. That's too bad. Fun fact, the park zoning tool uses the same layer as the campus district. Yes. Yeah, you can't overlap those, which is exactly why there is a park like this, shaped like this. Downward facing dog, to allow for that in the middle of the campus area. It's kind of stupid that they do that. Like, just let me charge. Let me put these down and pay the entity that is the major zone. Pay the school. But then again, I think I'm just going to do away with these altogether, with the paid. We were doing just fine without them. Maybe not as profitable as speeding towards $1 billion, but like I think we can afford to start giving back to the people a little bit, and just charging them $40 for the ticket in the first place. Right? Are the tickets all the way up? Where do you go? Edit? No, that's not. Where do you do this? Is it this? No, it's not. It's that. Yeah, tickets are all the way up at 40. So we could probably afford not to charge them. We were giving away, like, the city was just like holding even, and we were giving away game day transport. There was no paid walk paths. I think maybe the tickets were all the way up at the time, but maybe even not. Like, we looked at all the profitability at one point and got it going again. But I got to look at it being like stagnating is okay. We don't need to continue making money past the billion at this point, because it's going to be so slow to move the needle for another decimal point that I don't think I can bother. Because like the time it took to get 1 billion versus the next decimal that we get at 10 billion, it's just so not worth the grind. It's going to be in like the 4,000s, 5,000s. What am I saying? 6,000s by the time we get there. Not worth that grind. So let's see. What's the problem here? What's the problem here? Hopefully we're better luck than last time and this doesn't become a dead body icon. We got a little fire going on in the distance over there. I'm sure it's not a big deal. It's just a couple buildings next to one another. We're gonna hang out here for a minute, make sure this gets resolved. It's not gonna become a body. It's gonna become a prisoner. Multiple fire trucks on the scene. We're golden. Sorry to let you down, everybody. That's not going to be the big barn burner. So I'm pretty happy with the coastline over here. Got to change this bit for sure. Although it's not terrible that it's different. But I really want to rework the Manor District over here. Name included, but... I think we don't have houses with the back facing. In this case, we'll come across this way. Your game won't load PC or console. What is this? Is this connecting all the way through this power? I didn't realize this was our jump off point. But that's from well before this release. Well, that's not good. Okay, we got to pass this power some way other than through here. Was that connecting all of this through? It was, wasn't it? All right, hold on a second. We got to at least hook up some temporary power here. And those guys should already be connected across, I believe. So we're good there. PC too many mods. Well, yeah, if it's broken now, it's definitely going to break because it'll still be broken tomorrow. You got to ditch the mods at this point, I think. Probably time to start a new save if it's been broken for multiple updates. I mean, I don't know. You might be able to save it. I don't know the combination of what you're facing yet, but... Okay, let's delete this. And those. And probably some of these trees to make it a little easier to work with. No, not with a meteor. Not with a meteor mouse. Okay, hold on. Trees first. Okay, little bit of landscaping here. I will say I enjoy new saves more when it's not the game breaking forcing me to do it. I lost my Season 7 Portsmouth, and I put a lot of time into that build and was enjoying it and probably could have fixed it up a lot at this point. Something I may revisit at some point. I definitely want to do something New England. We're going all the way down to that, but that should be okay. All right, let's see if that was probably not enough. Let's see if we can get the road under it first before I worry too much about coming over the top. And I forget that we can do this now with the eyedropper. That is really useful. Okay, hold on. Back to the landscaping tool. That's not great. It's not great. I don't love this exit. Can we just leave that one node in the middle and make this come down a little smoother? Let's do that. Eyedropper again. Now we can either come out the 12 units, or if we want to come out real far, you can leave it one off the ground and then do the next piece. But I don't think we need that kind of space here. Just something that you can do. We're gonna come down 12, or come out 12, I should say. Okay, curve that in. Meteor terraforming valid option. I mean, it does certainly do some interesting, unpredictable things to the surrounding area. Okay, let's do that to bring it up on either side, and then we can smooth it out a little bit. And then we got to get a couple of blocks in here at least. Let's see what we can do. How close would you live to the highway? We can add fences to this tomorrow. We'll add the fences tomorrow. We'll see how that does. Can we get one more in there? No. What was that snapping to? Not the node that I wanted it to. There's way too much road happening right here. There's a lot going on right there. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that. Roadside fences are going to be very cool. It doesn't use or affect the node count. Wasn't fences a big part of people's problems before? I've never, knock on wood, never run into the node issue myself. I might rethink this and introduce some neighborhood behind on the other side of this, but then again, like maybe it's just fine to keep this a coastal highway and not try and tuck neighborhoods in behind it. Yeah, if you don't make squares or rectangles, for sure. Not crazy about this. So let's do something different here at least. This just doesn't feel right down here. Maybe there isn't a neighborhood down here. Maybe there's like a park or a service building. Like that might be a fine place for a park. Because where's our... I mean, we do have a park right here. Technically. The Central Park object with all the stadiums. A tourism zone could be. Could be. It's a little... We could monorail direct from the airport. Direct from the transportation and ticket center. Just take the monorail over. Hopefully it's just a one-off. It's going to be fine. Tourism and leisure. Single home elite hoods. You know what we haven't done is the mid-century modern. I mean, might be kind of a cool tuck away down here. Doesn't need a large lot. One good park, nice landmark, long coast. Yeah, I don't know yet. I do know that I need to rethink this though. It's just like it's kind of curved too naturally in there, and it needs to work with the terrain a little bit more. Even if there was just another road coming through here, right? But I want to space it out. At that point, I don't want to just like slap a road in here. I want to space it out a little bit better. But this is underutilized on this side. This particular coastal road, I don't think it's too heavily trafficked. So I think we can get away with a little bit more on this side of the map. We do have a good bit of demand for everything. Bunch of one-off fires. We're good. We're good. Okay. I do think I wanted to add a little bit more office down here. Just to kind of cut off the industrial zone a little bit. So we could put something here if we wanted to. Let's just office on the inside though. I think we did right there. And it's the wall, so it fits in fairly nice with the, albeit somewhat polluted, industrial evolution buildings. I would really like to see, yeah, the terrain height when you're doing roads and networks and stuff. That's very useful. Very useful that you can do that on PC. Transport Fever allows you to pin that layer when I'm drawing out roads. Isn't Transport Fever 3 coming soon? That's going to be real interesting. Like, I think that's something that I forget to bring up when we talk about City Skylines 2 and people ask me about console, and I say that I don't think it's worth their effort at this point. If that's at all a good game on console, it's just another nail in the coffin for not bothering with a game that needs mods to be fun to play on console. It doesn't have mods. Coming soon, and it looks superb. Yeah, it does. It looks really good. I'm excited to check it out. And I will gladly pay for it. But if somebody, had a key, they wanted me to play it. I mean, I'm just saying. Wait, AI competition? What? You're gonna have to explain that, because I'm not excited at anything with AI, but mod.io support it has on cost. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, you could do it. Some people will tell you they can't do it, but it definitely can be done. Did that block fill in already? Oh my god. Okay. What do we have? I guess I was going to say, like, what do we have for uniques? But we're going to have a bunch of new uniques and service buildings tomorrow, right? So I probably shouldn't go filling in all these spaces with stuff. Let's take a look. Let's do a little deep inspection on the traffic here for a minute. I've seen it go up to 89. I think without any major modifications. We look to be at a bit of a bad spot right here for industrial traffic. Does it change at time of day? It's not aware of time of day in Cities 1, right? Not that it does a particularly good job with time of day in 2. We'll let it run here for a minute. This is by far like one of the worst designed intersections. But you can see like it feeds some of the industrial traffic into the zone this way. Some of it comes off the highway this way. Probably a little bit more if we introduce another road here, but we're also kind of keeping it up and down this main street. But like this gets just heavily hit enough where it's like starting to back up on the highway, but not, you know, it will just a tiny little bit. Again, same thing over here. Like right when it becomes a problem, traffic should start moving. It'll prove me wrong. Watch, it'll back up while we're sitting here watching it. But all of this helps like offload a little bit by bit. In fact, I bet if we had this direct connect into here, it would offload quite a bit of traffic. Or at least give them an option. Do we want to see how much traffic takes this immediately? Let's do a regular road. Curved. Come out this way. We'll do that, but then we'll also pivot around that point. So like here. This is just gonna jam. It's gonna completely jam up the industrial zone on this side. This is a mistake, right? Upgrade this, that direction. Oh yeah, it's totally gonna overload the zone. Everybody's gonna take that route now. Does anyone go the other way? A couple cars, okay. We're giving them choices. We're not giving them good choices. Look at that, though. It cleared the intersection. It cleared the intersection pretty quick. And it actually had a great effect on the other side. Because there's less traffic piling up in the center here now. This is great. Look at this. I am a professional. I don't know what I'm doing. Two-lane off-ramps would probably be a good idea, too. As long as they're dumping to another road type that can handle it. I still got to figure out an airport. I think I'm going to do an airport in New Boston. For 2 reasons. One, because it's the only creative build I've done. I don't really have to worry about it that much. But also Logan is a very central feature to the map in the city. So I kind of have to on that one. I looked at plopping down the Metropolitan Airport. It was not very impressive on the large island. How long until the fire takes out the remaining lone pine? Hopefully a long time. I hope. I turned off HDR on the camera and it's a lot, like the room is a lot brighter. I'm sitting in a pretty dimly lit room. Usually it's the other way around. I'm sitting in a bright room and it's barely lighting. But I don't know if the background just ends up being more distracting. Also plan on making a bike highway using smaller plaza pedestrian only roads. Don't forget I think everybody gets, does everybody get the cobblestone road, or is that just a DLC thing? Probably just a DLC thing. What am I saying? Never mind. You have to pay for it, I'm sure. That was a stupid question. It's mildly interesting. Of course it's behind a paywall. What is the free update? Didn't they do a post about the free update? Cities, Skylines, DLC, free update. .exe. Run it immediately. Okay. Thanks, Chrome. No, don't click on something like that. Here it is. Race Day 3, Dev Diary 3, the free update. Hey, Mares, in this third developer diary, we wanted to showcase all the free content coming in the update alongside the launch of the Race Day expansion. Or of Race Day expansion. And just to clarify, you are not required to own the expansion to enjoy these features. It will be available for everyone. Roadside fences. Fences can now be added to roads. Just like trees, you can select the fence you want to apply to the roadside. This will work for any fence type or just about any road type. Just about. Probably not highway. Who knows? Then they show the fences on like regular roadway with what looks like the zoo and the park fence, and then fences on the sides of the pit lane and main racetrack. Left clicking on a road with a fence will add it to the side nearest the cursor or selection. Right clicking will remove the fence. I am mildly concerned, everybody, because let's look at a road with trees. Where do we have a road with trees? We have a road with trees. This is I'm in like the wrong corner of the map because I'm looking around in the dark. Okay. Here. Daylight. Roads with trees. Or I have paths with trees, should I say, right? So like, I'm pressing a button to pick that thing, to pick that fence. How do you right click? Like there's no right click operation for that on console. Anyone play on console know what I'm talking about? Like, what is the opposite of clicking a tree into place there? Because I can't hit B to undo. I can't unselect a tree. I can't unselect a fence that I've placed. I can go to the bulldozer. You plug a mouse in. No, I've been around this game enough that I bet you there is no undo operation for console. And you have to like delete the road and replace it, which could be horrible with curved roads. I hope that I am wrong. I hope there is a button. It just doesn't make sense to me what that button might be currently. Delete. Yeah, I mean, like, what button do you push on the controller for that? Like, there is no operation to do that. Like a left click, right click. You know? Because, like, when you left click, right click something, you're talking about zoning generally, right? And it's pressing and holding A or pressing and holding X. But, like, I can't do that with a tree. Can I do that with a fence? Is there a function to undo that on console, or did they forget about us? Considering it's Tantalus who made the console ports, I'd like to hope that they didn't forget about us. But if anybody wants even money, I will put it down now that they forgot about us and that there's no undo function. You're going to have to delete the road and replace it. Save early and save often. Like, I don't know. Tell me, like, what's the button? You plug a mouse in, I think, is the best advice so far. Even if you use mouse and keyboard, yeah, there's no way to undo it. There might be a hotkey or it uses similar. I mean, but that's the, like, here's the thing that still gets, like, you know what I would like to see as part of the free update? Tree rotation. Sure, they're different sizes, but they're all in the same, like, some of them are really obvious too. There's no way to rotate the trees because the button that would rotate and does rotate props also increases brush size. And that has been a thing for years. Like, I find out tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I haven't played it. I haven't been asked to play test it, and I'm pretty sure I already know how it's broken. But don't ask me because I don't know what I'm talking about. Just wait till tomorrow when it's totally freaking broken. There's not going to be any way to undo that. But I'm glad they talk about it in the dev diary. Left clicking on a row. Did I stop too early? Hold on a second. Left clicking on a row with a fence selected will add it to the side nearest the cursor or selection. Right-clicking will remove the fence. If the fence placement tool is set to upgrade, right-clicking will flip the direction the fence is facing? I did not even know that was a thing. I did not know there was an upgrade tool. I think that's going to be useful for this one, right? Because is that different on both sides? I feel like it is. But obviously some of them have directionality. So there's an upgrade tool. But what's the remove tool, right? There's no remove tool. I don't even like, I'll do the prop line manually if they just give me a way to rotate the frickin' trees. Yeah, I'm very interested to see this tomorrow. Cause they either added something in that didn't exist, or they totally forgot about console players, which would be a nice passing of the torch. Like, here's our first main update. We also forgot about console players. Billboards. 2 new large placeable billboard props are included with the free content. They are self-illuminating so you can advertise 24/7. Find these props tab of parks and plazas. And it looks like there's a couple variations on them. Okay. Employment info view. Employment is now visible in your info views. Take a look at your city to see if your commercial, industrial, and office zones are in need of workers to fill jobs. You can also check your residential areas to see where unemployed workers live. So that's cool. I mean, but it's also a thing that, like, once you know how it works, like, I literally walked away for days at a time and could just leave this city running. So, like, once you have a city in a good spot, like stuff like that, like getting people jobs. Like, what's our unemployment? Is it horrible? Should I not talk? Where is employment? Is it up here? Oh, unemployment's 12%. That's not great, but it's also like the city's functioning totally fine. Maybe we'll get some interesting views here. But I mean, like, look, there's a ton of demand for commercial and industrial that I'm not meeting. So, like, it's not that surprising. There we go. So we get info views for employment, which is interesting because, like, it's a particular problem in 2. I don't know if they feel like, hold on, Todd.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
Thank you, Todd. That's Edge of Map Fog, Todd. Edge of Map Todd. So yeah, thanks for reading the update. So it's an employment tool, some billboard props, and fences that I'm willing to bet money on today are probably broken their implementation and how you manage them on console. And we are going to jam all the buttons tomorrow to figure out if they did something different. And if they did, could they also please do that with trees? And could we add something as simple as rotation? What else do we need? I know we need some things. New road tool will be nice. Less restricted movement, like it's a way to turn off building collision. That'd be kind of cool. But employment wise, like, I don't know, the city's working. Do I care that a bunch of people don't have jobs? No. Are they getting kicked out? No, they're doing fine. They're doing great. They get awesome health care. Police get there pretty soon after a crime, usually. There's only like a multi-city block fire every couple months or so. Like, all in all, I think it's a pretty cool place to live. And we're not even done really turning it into the utopia that it will be. So, okay, sorry. Universal basic income for all residents within the jurisdiction. Promise of 1 billion network community. Yeah, I mean, hey. It took a while for that police car to get there, honestly. I'm a little disappointed. Do we have like a single square of non-zoning there? Hang on a second. While we're here... Again, can't rotate these bushes either. They hired the CM landscaper. Beautiful. There we go. Repetitive houses, though, unfortunately. Bunch of those. Bunch of those. Wow. Okay, we got a bunch of little lots over there. Okay. More police problems. I'm just waiting. I'm hoping we don't see a hearse at any of these. I'm waiting to catch a crime in action is what we're doing here. Because whoever walks out of here, if there is a murder, we must bring to justice. One of these times it's going to happen. More adept at using different sizes to make the areas look more distinct and less homogeneous. Yeah. I should probably get a little bit more patient with that. I also wish like you could just change variations of the buildings without having to let them all move back in. It'd be nice if you could do a little bit more of that variation. Because it's too difficult to zone like at least, you know, some of the towns up in New England up here are zoned, or not zoned, but how the houses are kind of all spaced out. Because you'll have like a fair number of Victorians that are spaced apart because way back in the day they were built spaced apart because there wasn't this crunch of people. And now you have like, you know, 2 or 3 even sized zone lots in front of it of much more modern housing. So like modern house, Victorian, modern house, Queen Anne. And other creators, wait, so they made me slow back down and work on detailing and have the patience instead of letting them demand bars rule decision making. Yeah, for sure. Tonight, is there any back lanes for roads? I'm not sure I totally understand, Joey. The update doesn't come out till tomorrow, so if it's anything with the race day stuff, no. But I will be on tomorrow night, most likely. Does this guy, have the police still not showed up to this one yet? But if you want an honest take on all the new DLC, I will definitely be giving that tomorrow. There is a hearse over there. I'm not. They need to drive someplace else. We are right behind the crematorium though, so it's fair. Do we have a helicopter come? But did the crime just stop? Did a cop car drive by and I didn't see it? Okay, I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at the detective work. Did this one just leave? Let's see where they're going. Potential crime scene, right? Technically not, but... Can we close this and still follow it? Can we follow it in cinematic camera or free cam mode? We can, okay. There we go. Brutal honesty is what we need. I'm happy to deliver. Because I am very much aware of console players' plight, right? Like, content creator packs especially are our mods. And if we're going to pay for them, they better be worth it. I do have some excitement. Why did do these guys live, like, this is where they live? And they just came home from work? They weren't picking up a body? They were just driving home from work? That's who we followed? That's the luck we have? We're following these guys when they're leaving for home? It was end of shift? What are the chances? There we go. There's a body. They don't get one at a time, do they? I mean, maybe if they're that close. Nope. I don't think it's nice to call them a load. Is that really what we're referring to dead people as? The load? What kind of load you got? It's a stinky one. He booed himself. Weekend at Bernie's. 100% console player. I appreciate that. I am like 90% console player. I boot up the PC once in a while. I'm going to give it some time. I do want to do... There's so many hearses at that intersection. Did you see that? I want to do a new New England build. And man, they could just give us these trees and I'd happily do it in console. With rotation, please. But can we get fall trees, please? That would be amazing. That would really invigorate some life into the game, if you ask me. Fall trees would be incredible. For those of you that may not know what I'm talking about, fall is autumn. But I know it doesn't translate all around. Have CS1 on Steam, but no DLCs. It doesn't play as well as I had hoped on the Steam Deck. Definitely not. So I usually play remastered. Fall color trees would be great, right? Give Mr. Mason. He got us done already. You just have to package him up. Please. That would be an epic update. But here's the thing. There's one other thing that... Okay, let's talk about the tree update. Let's talk about the fall tree update. I am just giving them free content. You're talking about reskinning trees. It is so easy. You could even do it on a per map basis. I don't care if there are seasons. I'm fine to make it permanently fall. It could be a map theme. The trees could just be a slightly different color or pulled from a different palette. But there's a couple things that we need. Tree rotation. Like, it may not seem that bad, right? And if we do a brush like this and put a bunch of the same tree down, it doesn't look like a problem. Not right away, at least. It may not, especially like when you get it mixed in with a bunch of other trees. It's less pronounced. But anytime you're doing like a row of trees, like this one I think is a particularly bad offender. Like, it's a beautiful tree, but when you put a row of them down, and regardless of size, they're all in the exact same shape and format and direction, like, it takes the majesty out of those trees. I don't know how they didn't realize there's not a rotation method for trees all these years. Like, I feel like it's an oversight. I feel like somebody just doesn't know that it's not in the game. They don't care because it's console and it's a minimum viable product. It works and it ships and no one complained loud enough. I don't know. I complain pretty loud about some stuff, but tree rotation would be amazing. Yes, prop line tool would be great, but just being able to rotate the tree like we are able to any other prop, right? Like if I go in, where are the props? Are they in the park stuff? Where? I don't even know where they are. Yeah, here, like these things, right? Like a park bench, for example. I can rotate this thing. I can make a little... you could hang me 50 meters from the sky in Berlin and I could draw inappropriate images with these shapes. So hopefully somebody knows what I'm talking about. Hold on. You do it right now. No, okay. But you get my point, right? We can rotate these props, but then when you come over here, like there's the function of that button is to increase the brush size. So they need to rethink that. They need like a little brush tool would be like, here's a road tool. I pull out the roads. I get a road pop up. How about we pull out the trees and we get a tree pop up, and that controls the brush size and density and all those things you're cramming into a D-pad function. You could just have another little pop-up menu like that. You don't even have to reinvent the wheel. Like, it's literally like stealing the assets from your road tool. It would be very easy. Like, it would be very easy to do that. The functionality exists in the game because it can handle it with props. And you've already built out a UI menu to handle road tools, handle tree tools that way. And treat the trees with respect. Give us fall trees as well, please. Is that it? I mean, that's all I want. That's what I really want. Opening in the tree is always the same. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it could be so much better. We don't even need, like, you don't even need variations on the trees as much as you have like variations on size and rotation. When both those things happen at the same time, repetitiveness is a lot less obvious, especially when we even pull back a little bit and you've got other trees in the palette. But when you have tons of repetitiveness and you're dealing, in this case, only with size variation, these are the like the tree farms, so there is some unfortunate repetitiveness there. But you can see, like, I've tried to fill in the lot too. Like, we've got like a little dirt road and a little hut. It's weird how the farms grow in on CS2. Like, they just, like, a farm building would look good here in the middle of this field, right? No, it would not. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, game? So, okay. Crime is still happening. It's just garbage problem 2. Sorry, all over the place tonight. How are these doing? These are doing okay. We could fill this in a bit with trees. Do a little walking path here or there. But yeah, tomorrow we will be back for sure to look at all the new unique service buildings and stuff. What is it? Brutalist? What's the other one? There's another one. So there's the race day stuff. Brutalist, and another content creator pack. I'm more excited about the content creator packs than I am race day, but I'm also really interested to see the free update not work on console. At least not the way that it works on PC. Like, not, imagine having the fences but not having an undo. Like, people are gonna put the wrong fence in the wrong spot. I wonder if upgrading the road, like if I upgraded to like a grass median instead of the regular median, would that change the fences? If it doesn't, it's going to have it's going to piss people off. Surely they tested that, right? I'm interested to know your thoughts. Hold on, poll. Will you be able to remove fences too? Will you be able to remove fences on console? Yes or no? I will not put it past them that they did not give us a way to remove the roads because there's no right click technically. Will you be able to remove the fences? So we're tipping positive for a moment there. Cast your votes. Appreciate it. I'm going to be really interested to see. And if you want to find out before you pay for the DLC, definitely come back tomorrow at 9 Eastern. Although, honestly, if I boot it up in the middle of the day at lunchtime and it's broken, I will have a post on it too. You don't have to wait to tune in to find out that it's broken with me. I will be complaining about that in the YouTube post immediately. We're at a 60-40, so we're obviously torn here. I just can't imagine how you can't do it in the context of today's controls, basically. I got my little chirper looking in over here in the back. My wife made him years ago, little crochet chirper. He's tucked away in the background over there sometimes. Okay. Making my own parks and plazas that Sims will interact with naturally is something that is tough to get. Yeah, you know what is a really nice creative tool on PC, on modded PC, is like you can create these little invisible things that are like congregation points and building entry and exit points. So even if the building doesn't have it, you can decide like where the lot entry is, where people should gather together outside. And you can tell like some buildings really need that love because they do like ridiculous things. I forget what building I was at. I just like saw a building where they just did not care and were just driving into the wrong part of the building. I feel like I was over here near the train station and saw it. I can't remember now, but it was just so egregious where they were like driving in nowhere near the entrance of the building. I can't remember where it was now. It's gonna bother me. If I see it, I'll try and call it out. Was it a crematorium? It might have been the crematorium. Hold on, I gotta see the crematorium here. Yeah, I think it might have been. I think they turn in and out of the middle of the grass structure of the plaza, not like the driveways on the side. I'm pretty sure if I remember, like they turn like directly through the center of the building. I could be wrong though. Let's see if we catch where they come out. Maybe it was something else. Yeah, no, it is. They spawn out of the middle of the structure. It's unfortunate. It'd be cool if they spawned over at like one of the garage doors and drove in that way too, but like it's not a consideration for all buildings. It's just like there's a spawn point. It originated from the building. Good enough. All right, so 62%, over half, believe that you'll be able to remove fences on consoles. And I don't know if you're counting deleting the road, but I'm pretty sure that's the way that we're going to do it. Or not through an intended means. It's going to be like upgrading the road to a different type to upgrade it back to the type that you had. It won't be just removing the... Like maybe you could upgrade it to a highway because that doesn't support fences and then downgrade it back to a road. And it'll probably remember the fences. It's going to be good. It's going to be so funny. I know. I just have this feeling that something obvious is going to be missed. I don't know. I've been around enough console releases to know that they don't. There's always something that goes wrong. Okay. Airport cargo question mark? Wait, what about, do I have a cargo airport? I do not. First Cities video was build you did on Lavender Lake several years ago. Thank you for your content. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That would have been, I think that was Rosewood, right? That was the one around the big lake, and we had the Green Cities neighborhood off in the mountain. That was a really fun build. That was loosely based on Boulder, Colorado, which is so cool if you see it on Google Earth. Go on Google Earth and like go out to Boulder, Colorado and look east, and you can see like the flat Midwest, but from there it's east. And then you turn around and there's Boulder, Colorado, and behind it is the Rocky Mountains. It's just like comes out of nowhere. It's a really cool place to see that kind of ground level experience on Google Earth. It's dramatic, like because you can fly for a bit and see like flat, and then Boulder's just right there on the edge of the Rockies. Beautiful spot. And Rosewood was a fun build. That's one I definitely could consider going back to do a 25 tile on. I want to do most likely Plainville. I got to get going on my Boston build again, which will probably be happening soon. But once I start wrapping these up, I do want to do Plainville again. And Plainville was a 9 tile build. I took one of the default maps, added in, well, we played like all the way through all the milestones, and then every episode was adding a new DLC. And that section's going to be a lot longer than it was last time because there's a bunch of new DLCs since then. Financial districts, hotels, race day, maybe one more. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what has come out since then. Probably others. Well, of course, yes. Sunset Harbor came out after that build. Wait, did it? When the heck was Plainville? I don't remember for sure. I'm a bad auteur of my own history. But I'm glad I found you before you get to all the modders. I would have been overwhelmed. Well, I'm very glad that you found that too. One of the reasons that I started putting content together for cities and focusing on it was not because I thought it would really take off, but because I knew there were other people like me that were playing on console, and I banged my head into the wall so long, and I was like, I could make some content on this so people can find the answers that I couldn't find about controls and how do you rotate a tree on console. You don't. Haha. Thanks, devs. But you know what I mean? Like, it was something I wanted to share because I'm sure there were other people out there like me looking for content and finding perfectly good creators, but not any that were focusing on console. Love doing builds similar to Denver. I haven't checked out Denver really from a structure. There's like every city has a very unique story that is told in its streets and its structure and the time it grew up. They're giant time capsules in very interesting ways. And there's a lot of them that I want to build. I just have to do a new season every month. Never finish a build, and I'll get there. But I'm working on New Boston right now. That's been a lot of fun. That's been on break for a bit. I need to get back to it. Want to do another Plainville. I would love to do Montreal. Montreal is a really cool city. If you're doing Boston build, I saw an asset in the Brutalist DLC that looks like Boston City Hall. Excellent. Well, we'll have to check that out for sure. Yeah, I am. So I'm doing a thing called New Boston, and it is why? We're just trying to have a nice cinematic, and it. What the heck? Whatever.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
That's not good. That's not good at all. We could do without this, please. So yeah, a lot of things happening. We should be fine. Another fire in the distance. But yeah, a lot of builds that I would like to do. There's I don't know that I could capture it. Portsmouth was a ton of fun. I did that season 7. That was with the fall trees on PC. It's why I want fall trees so bad. I fell in love with that build. Or I just fell in love with playing cities in autumn, basically. But there's a really cool town. I don't know if I can capture it, but another one that is like cut out of the mountains. Really small town in Vermont, southeast Vermont, right on the border of New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts, basically, where everything meets. And it's a little town called Brattleboro, and it's just it's a tiny little town. I don't even know how many people are in Brattleboro. I gotta look. Not many. What is the population? 12,000. But it's such a beautiful town, like cut in the valley. Just what a beautiful spot. Green Mountain State, Vermont has got some beautiful spots, and Brattleboro is a fun little town that could be a cool build. I'd like to revisit that one. Or visit that one, I should say, in cities. I haven't worked on the build in the first place, so I can't technically revisit it. But Montreal would be a fun build. I think Brattleboro could be really interesting, but very small, at least. But I need a fall build. I need fall trees in console, please. I don't know, like how they want to push out content. Eventually, they'll hear me, right? Fall trees, please. You can I will pay in advance. I will start promoting it tomorrow. Just tell me that Mr. Mason fall trees are on the way, and I will develop all the. Oh man, I'll give you so much footage of burning trees. It's gonna be amazing. My maps are gonna look like they're already on fire before they catch fire. You won't even be able to tell when the real fires happen. They'll sneak right in and go unnoticed. Happy for remastered, but I've yet to reclaim all my achievements. I do not know why I can't get 100K without getting caught up in the pedestrian and traffic voyeurism. Oh wait, just population-wise? Is that one of the achievements? I don't even, you know what? What do I not have? Maybe this will make you feel better. Where do I go? Achievements? Can we view all, or do I have to go to the view all on the previous menu? Probably. I'll do the view all on the previous menu. Here. Okay. Okay. Do we compare with friends? How do you do like the stats? This one? Nope. $37 days to Adia's 11 days to Decoy's 8. Oh wow, that's right. I forgot the console went missing with remastered. Okay. Achievements wise, I'm still playing Battlefront a lot. It's usually my most recently played game. From 2017, 2018. Okay, so have 10 disasters strike the city at the same time. I'm surprised it took me that long to get that one. Honestly. Okay, things we don't have for achievements. I want it all. Unlock every single building in the game. 0.09% of gamers unlock this. City in Motion 2 have 50 transport lines. We can cheese that. That one's easy. I just do a block. I mean, literally look at the picture. It's a bunch of buses all on the same road. That's exactly how we get that achievement. Have more than 95% happiness for 5 years. I don't think I had that on the old one. Have the city survive a crime rate of over 40% for 2 years. Fill 5 landfill sites. Have the industry tax rate over 5% higher than either residential or either residential tax rate. I sometimes like you're expecting a sentence to go another way and it doesn't make sense because you aren't going with the flow of it. That's just me. Have both residential tax rates over 5% higher than industry for 1 year. This one I am so surprised. Like I don't know what the deal is. Do I have to have the natural flow of time, I guess? I guess I always have that turned off because I'm always running it in daytime. And now that you can put it in nighttime whenever you want, I don't actually pass time, which is really unfortunate. I never got that achievement in the other one either. Have 1,000 squares of leisure specialized commercial zone. Wild. Have 1,000 squares of beach specialized commercial zone. Experience snowfall. I haven't done a snowfall build yet on Remastered. Interesting. Maybe we recreate a city in the snow. I'm gonna have to rebuild the map. The Plowmaster have snowplows collect 2 million units of snow. 0.17% of gamers have this. Apparently people aren't driving on snowfall on the remaster. Win 5 scenarios, 0.05%. Experience a special disaster, 0.03%. That's the Chirpnado. Lose 5 scenarios. I should be able to get that one easy. Clark Cable. Ugh. Transport 5,000 passengers with cable cars. I bet that achievement name is too old for most of you to even get the reference. And I feel like it's old for me. Transport 20,000 passengers with cable cars. Name 100 roads, 0.08%. Check the route of a citizen? Surely we can knock that one out. Win all 3 mass transit scenarios, 0.04%. Have all residential zone in the city be specialized self-sufficient housing. All commercial zone be organic and local produce. Have all the office zone in the city be specialized IT cluster. Okay, and then have a park maintenance service and a zoo, nature reserve, amusement park in your city. What? I don't feel like that sentence is structured well, and I do have to remember that this is translated most of the time. Have a park maintenance service and a zoo, nature reserve and amusement park in your city. Yeah, like that is not good usage of commas. Have a park maintenance service, comma, zoo, comma, nature reserve, Oxford, comma, and amusement park in your city is how that should be written, in my opinion. But maybe I'm misunderstanding. Anyways, Oxford, comma, check it out. It's very useful. Have a park with all nature reserve buildings built in it. 0.8%, 0.08%. Build 5 offshore oil drilling platforms. Some points appear to be left on the board, bud. You may have to destroy your river for ill-gotten gains. I mean, it might have to happen. I mean, we just have to build them. They don't have to be productive, right? And then we can get rid of them immediately. Deliver 1 million units of mail. I have yet to, after all these years, use the post office. Build 10 industry areas. 100 academic works. You can't do that at a single school. You need multiple universities in the same city. We're going to have to shut down River Run University, bring in a competitor, and get this achievement. Wait. Do you have to do 3 schools? Hold on a second. Please don't walk up on me, game. You have to do 3 schools, don't you? Hold on. How many academic works can you have? Does it say how many academic works we have? 48. Yeah, you have to have 3 schools. So you max out the next school at 48, you're only at 96. Oh my God. Okay. That's who designs achievements like that? Make your game fun to play. Don't make us destroy our city to unlock the Eiffel Tower. Come on. Okay, where were we? We can check the route of a citizen. We got to do that. So yeah, I have to do 3 universities to get this. Have 15,000 students study on campuses at the same time. I think I got that in Springdale, which was over 200,000 population to do that. Can we trade the post office for rotating trees? You know what? I'm going to pin that just in case somebody from the dev happens to stop by. Because yes, that would be a worthwhile trade. Stop wasting your development efforts on post office and give us rotating trees. Please. Build all campus area types with all of their respective campus buildings and faculties. Wow. Okay. So can I build them all and like shut the campus down and move on to the next one and just build 3? Or do I keep growing the city enough to have 3 completely functioning campuses? Have 60 tourists visit the aviation club. Transport 35,000 citizens in trolley buses. Yuck. World of Rotorcraft. Transport 50,000 citizens in helicopters. Yucker. And then Airline Tycoon. We have to build an airport level 3. Airport with a terminal runway and aircraft stand. 25,000 cells. Jeez. Set the airline ticket price slider to the maximum price. 5 garbage service points reach their capacity limit. 5 million through investments. That's such a waste of time. Put all your money into... Wait, put all of your money into 1 million of investments? Then don't sell for 1 month? What if I can't put all my money into $1 million of investments? I can't put all my money into $1 billion of investments. Can I get that achievement still? Take a loan in order to make an investment. I definitely have to do that on a different save. I guess you could take out a loan, but it wouldn't be for the purposes of the investment. I can certainly pay out of pocket. How does it know? Have a total of 500 weekly guest stay at hotels. Organize 3 hotel events. Have the maximum number of guests stay at any 5-star hotel. Yikes. There is a lot that I still have to dig into, and none of it sounds fun. Let's follow the first person we can awkwardly home from a sporting event. Anybody leaving a sporting event? Okay, they are, what do we want to do? We want to go to the person, resides at the Willow residence. We can follow them. Route. Examine the route of a citizen. Achievement! Okay, we just need to rename 100 roads now. That's the rest of the stream, is me renaming 100 roads. Off for the night. Have an early day tomorrow. Have a good evening, Mouse. And thanks for the stream. I appreciate you, Kung. And hopefully if you're down to hang out tomorrow, check out the new DLC. You know where to find me. Look, we're on our way to Achievement City. It's just a very, very slow walk to get there, unfortunately. Can we... There we go. 3 times speed? They're going to go for the subway, right? Absolutely 100% subway, not a pocket car. They're a subway person. Pocket car? Are they going to pocket car? I don't feel like this is the fastest way to the subway, but maybe it is. I figured. Subway for sure. Okay. Well, that was an easy achievement. There wasn't anything terribly easy except for like bogus bus lines and stuff. I got to figure out what to do over here. This is in need of some work. The stadium was taking up so much room, and I just filled it with some bogus roads. I don't even know what happened there. How is our sunken highway doing? It's very shiny. It's unfortunate how inconsistent road placement is. This is following, I remember this was following the spacing for what you used to be able to do, a 3-lane highway next to a 3-lane highway for spacing, and still have room to curve it, and now you have to like reduce that. You have to either space it way out or reduce it down to 2 lanes to use that same spacing. So they changed the way that road snapping and sizing worked at some point. When we're moving around the city, it's fine. If we focus on an intersection, then all of a sudden all the traffic's like, oh, you want me to be here? We're at 86%. It is obviously mod free because it's console. And we're not doing anything particularly awesome. We're doing some pretty sloppy diamond interchanges near our busy industrial areas and a basic T. And it's working. Way down here at the other end of this highway segment, this is essentially the same structure, but it is all 3-lane all the way through. And it does just fine. Like, I think people spend a lot of time working with the on-ramps and off-ramps and doing lane mathematics. But you could do something as simple as this for a relatively busy 3-way interchange. 86 decent AF. I will take decent AF. Look, it's up to 87, and if we hang out, it will sometimes get up to 89 at 126,000 people. With intersections like this, multiple diamonds like this. This is what I'm saying. People overthink, and I'll share my tip, because it is not just build a crappy intersection like this. That by itself does not get the job done. What does get the job done is thinking about arteries, where your traffic is going to go, and the old town policy. So check it out real quick. You got this policy. It's called Old Town. I want to say it might have been like a an After Dark thing, which like 90% of the user base should have it. It's like a $3 DLC if you don't have it. It adds like the taxi stands and things like that. If you don't have it, that's why. But it's so ingrained in the game at this point. All the console versions ever have shipped with it. So just a lot of people have it. Can you do a tutorial series that covers everything? Yes, I can. I need to update it or at least change the thumbnail to say 2026. I was thinking about doing a new series, but there's definitely a lot of how-tos. If the question is serious. If it isn't, then I appreciate your support. I assume you've been here before. But if you don't know, I have a lot of how-to videos starting with the basics of how to start a city all the way through individual things, breakouts for each individual DLC for a lot of them. But Old Town Policy, this thing has been hiding in the background and people don't know about it. The text says, only residents and businesses can use the area for motor vehicles, ban other motor traffic. So if you look at this district here, the Colline Francesi, aka French Hill, it's got a couple of highway exits. So it's got this three-way interchange. Up here it has this diamond partially, right? The diamond is not technically in the zone. It's free of any zoning. And then the last piece is over here, this partial cloverleaf that dumps down into this intersection, which becomes two different zones. And what Old Town says is like, if I'm getting off the highway, well, I should say, if I want to get to Franklin Hills, I can't get off the highway here and drive through the Colline Francesi. I'm going to have to stay on the highway and get off down here at this partial cloverleaf, or maybe even ride all the way around to this diamond to maybe get closer to where I want to be. And that little trick right there of carefully districting, you can see my districts are built around the highway. Many of them have Old Town stamped on them so that people can get to them, but it prevents the traffic from routing through, because if that's not their destination, they're not going to create these, horrible bits of traffic every which way in the city trying to cut through neighborhoods or take arterial roads that they shouldn't be taking. And it keeps things moving really well. So again, we're at 86 traffic and we're not over designing intersections. We're not doing lane mathematics. It's all about the Old Town Policy and just spreading your town out a little bit. But anyways, that's something that's like one of the best tips and tricks I could give for anybody, console, PC or not, because a lot of people like jump right, especially on PC, or I should say on PC, they'll jump right to mods like a traffic manager to fix problems. When the game gives you ways to address a lot of it, you could definitely make it flow more naturally and like a real city, by turning off certain lane turning or lane timings of lights. You could do some really cool things with Traffic Manager. But there's plenty to be done and not running into a lot of the problems that people end up correcting with mods. I see all these traffic fixes that Biffa does. A lot of those problems are avoidable with better design in the first place. And you don't have to, one, use a bunch of mods, two, ship it to somebody else to fix it. Like you just have to learn how to better manage the traffic in the first place. Some people punish themselves and then use like the more realistic traffic and populations. Like, okay, and you kind of shot yourself in the foot. It's not my fault. The game wasn't designed to handle that stuff. Not at that number. Old Town's great for controlling traffic, but you need to exclude major highways and roads. So it should not apply to highways. But you definitely do need to exclude major roads, yes, which is why if you look at like where my districts run, it's literally right down the middle of this road. It will give them a little bit of leeway this close to another zone, like they can use that because the road is technically in both. I could also like D-zone this, but then you D-zone a function and effect on the buildings that are along this road also. And they will function again just fine if the road is kind of in both. They can get all the deliveries that they need. They're good to go. One thing else to consider, we just lost the game. One thing else to consider, let's pause it for a second because we'll go check the crowd out, is if you have the Industries DLC, you need warehouses. Absolutely need warehouses. Set it to zoned industry goods and fill, and put one of these in all your major commercial centers. I've got a couple of these. I got 3 of these across the map. But if you ever run into not enough goods to sell, all the businesses that are making goods will just as happily sell them off map as they do sell them in map. So any of the stuff that your generic industry, here we go, that your generic industry is making will go to the warehouses and fill first before they get exported from the map. So that is really another essential trick that becomes even more necessary when you start messing around with the Old Town policy, because you need to make sure that you've got not only routes where that district can get service so that it can get, a truck from the highway to there. You don't want to cut it off. But also it can become very dependent on a warehouse maintaining a stockpile. So what do you mean by district and not citywide? That's an absolutely great question. Great question. So when I go, and I'm talking about this from a console perspective, but it's the same principle. You just get there differently in the UI. If I hold Y or triangle, I can bring up the radial wheel. I can go into policies. Those policies affect the entire city. If I want to give out smoke detectors, it's 5 buckaroonies a building. I don't know what we call the dollars officially, because sometimes they're cents, sometimes they're dollars. It doesn't actually say what the dollars are. But anyways, it's 5 per building, and we would apply that across the entire city. Now, a lot of times that's totally fine. Like I've got education boost citywide. Education is important for everyone. I've got recreational use citywide. Recreational use is important for everyone. But then there are other things that may not matter across an entire city, especially if you're doing kind of a specialized build where you have an industrial lower end part of town, and maybe there's an office park higher end part of town. This will actually be a little bit easier to manage after tomorrow's update because you can see where the unemployment is. But you can also focus a policy on a district. And let's say, for example, you can see all the things that are applied. It has recreational use. It has Old Town, but that Old Town is not citywide. That Old Town is specifically on this district. So when we go into a district and policies, now these might look a little different. In fact, if I wanted to, I could say, you know what? No education boost for the Coline Francese. You don't get education. You get to go work in the industry. And it can help those jobs populate faster. Now, in my city, I've also got the Industry 4.0, which gives you more places for well and highly educated workers, which is probably the better way to go. But depending on what you're role playing at for your city, you can do a couple different things there, and do keep that in mind. There are some policies that, again, make perfect sense across the entire city, but you may want to do something a little bit different with a district. One of the ways that I use that is I have a lot of high-rise bands, but then I have the skyscrapers in my downtown area. Not having a high-rise band on a residential just means it'll upgrade to level 5. Having a high-rise band over here, though, right, prevents these buildings from getting any taller than they already are. And honestly, some of them are a little bit much. But I think if we check the levels on these, it won't do that last visual upgrade as far as levels are concerned. So, simoleons, is that what it is? Is that the carryover? I know people gave me a bunch of crap over the years when I refer to the Sims as Sims, but I think that's because they're thinking SIMS instead of CIMS, which is actually that is the official from the dev. They're called Sims. They're CIMS, the people. These ones do not have teeth, so don't worry, they don't bite. All right, we should follow somebody. Let's see what people are doing in our city. 1 speed. Let's find a car leaving work. Let's see where the hot dog van's going. Follow and play. And camera and hide. There we go. Let's see. Why is the hot dog truck in the industry anyways? I guess they're servicing the industry for lunch. Wish there was a massive sale. What DLC do you not have Like, are you weighing a decision between multiple? Because I was just doing a tier list last night. I definitely have opinions. How could there be Sims that do not have... Okay. Do not have a tread pattern, but on the bottom of their footwear? Yeah, you want a unique pattern on the bottom of each shoe, so we could do criminal forensics. But they can't give us rotating trees, right? Way behind when it comes to DLC. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Let me bring up my tier list. Let me see if I can find my tier list. This one. Okay. So I ranked them into a bunch of categories. Must buy, wicked good, mid, you may like it, meh, you like it, question mark, and refund. The ones that are in the refund are financial districts, and preemptively I'm putting race day in there, but don't, that's not, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just imagining where it goes. The top tier must buy, though, in my opinion, Snowfall for trams. If you don't have Snowfall, I highly recommend Snowfall. Trams are awesome. Trams are my favorite method of public transport. They run a nice balance. They're very close to Metro. They're not as small as a bus. And they integrate with the other DLCs really nice. So if you get plazas and promenades, you have a lot of options there for like different road types that have the trams built in. I love it. Mass transit is also really cool. Mass transit gives you some highway options, which are really nice. Monorail is pretty cool, but noisy. It's a little clunky to set up, but it's good. I think Green Cities offers some fun stuff too, but in terms of like, if you like the management aspect at all and want a little bit more intricacy to it, Park Life, Campus, and Industries are all like fun to tinker with. Obviously, one does schooling. There's 3 different kinds of universities you can build. Park Life, there's 4 different types of parks. So there's like a traditional city park, a nature reserve, an amusement park, and a zoo. I can show you some of those if you want to see it. And then Industries lets you do oil, ore, forestry, and farming. And same sort of thing around both those. All 3 of those kind of have this common thread of being able to exploit a lot of money out of your Sims, and you can use them in combination, but they have a nice little management aspect to them. So if you're on the fence at all and thinking about them and you don't own Park Life, Industries, or Campus, I think those are the 3 that I feel the strongest about, because there's that like not too hard of a management game. Like I don't like overly complicated management games. But those aspects I think are really fun to build into your city, and they're not overly complicated that they're not accessible, I think, to a lot of people. Big ones for Sunset Harbor, Parks, Industries, Campus, Green Cities, and Natural Disasters. I like natural disasters. Like here's what you'll buy natural disasters for 2 things: raining death and destruction on your city. If you're insistent on using old school cemeteries and dumps, you can instantly empty them with a collapse, which is really cool. But also, one of the coolest things is this little building here under natural disasters. It is called the earthquake sensor. And it's this tiny little building. I'm trying to think where I must have one somewhere. Right here. Passing power over the highway. So this is a building, and if we look at the electricity, that's where the bubble is passing across the highway. There's another one over here, I think. I don't have to run an actual cord across and destroy zoning. I can take up 1 square of space basically and wirelessly pass power across the way. So like where I have houses recessed off the road, that little earthquake sensor effectively passes the power across the street. It is a very cool way of doing things if you don't want excessive power lines everywhere. It's very, very cool. But that's the best part. That's the best part of it. Some days there's a lot of streams where I wish I didn't have natural disasters installed, it was a thing for quite a while when I was making cities content more regular, but I would do regular streams like 9 to 11, and then around this time, 10:30, the super chats would come out and like, hey, sure could use a tsunami, or it's a shame that it looks all thundery and lightning out there. So we'd save the game, and like the last half hour of every stream would just be watching the city die. From Brazil, welcome. If I had any Portuguese, I would pull it out right now, but I do not. I have very broken French from growing up watching hockey, so it's mostly swears and vulgarity. Thank you to my grandparents for that. Bought airports and haven't built one. Yeah, I have airports and I've never built one. I always drop in the Metropolitan Airport from Sunset Harbor, I believe. I think that's what's from. It's a great looking building. It's got helicopter pads. It's got a metro station. It's got multiple runways, handful of gates. Like this is all I need. I got the countdown clock for cities too. Still lands on a web page. I think I'll let you in on a little secret. If I posted this picture and left some irate comment, hoping people would click on it, but I had superimposed a Rickroll on it. But that does actually go to the regular website. It's like, oh, you want to buy cities too? Steam, Microsoft, and Xbox Game Pass, which technically it is. You can play the PC version via Game Pass. But I can't help but wonder if this launches, they owe 2 years of back time for Game Pass. They kind of have to throw it in the essential free tier, don't they? Pretty sure everybody that's online on Xbox is going to get a copy of this for free anyways, in the hopes that they will buy DLC. Amount of times you use a little sensor for power, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a very cool thing. But those are the ones that I feel strongest about. So let me show you real quick. So Park Life gives us things like parks that we can set up. So in this case, my Central Park has a bunch of different objects in it. We can build park paths. You can build gates and oh my god. We'll pretend that we didn't see that. I can't believe I haven't corrected that yet. But that is remastered remembering old terrain. We also have a senior home and a child healthcare facility in the middle of the park. We're doing some weird stuff. It's okay. Road over road trick. I haven't used it. So actually, if you know a good tutorial that still works, I will check it out. Are you talking about stacked roads? Like roads on top of other, like a multi-decker highway? I have never tried that trick personally. I probably should. It'd be also nice if they just gave us an option for that, like a double-decker road, and then you could change the direction which road is facing which way, the top or the bottom road. But tree rotation first. So you can do things like this, the chessboard in the park. This is something I always love. Something I always love to get triggered on. If you know how chess works, this board is not set up correctly. The square in the bottom right should be white. And also they are stalemating because they just move the same two pieces back and forth. And apparently that is a knight that he's moving because... Actually, no, it's not, is it? Is that a queen and then she's moving a knight? She's going to move the white square. Yeah, and they just move these two pieces back and forth. It's really tough to tell what's what here. But anyways, the board is not set up correctly and it's infuriating. And I remember thinking I'm the only person that this bothers. And then if anyone knows B. Squicklehouse, I don't remember if he said something about it or I said something about it. And the other one of us was instantly oh my God, it's so infuriating. How do they not know how the chessboard's set up? So of all the times I've complained, I've one other creator noticed it. So I love that. But anyways, you could build these fun little parks right? So that is a traditional park. I don't have a nature reserve here, but I do have apparently a zoo that caught fire in the episode and we just didn't see it. But this is the zoo. The zoo is a pretty fun walkthrough in my opinion because it's very realistic. I took inspiration from Disney properties. So you walk in and it does not matter which way you go, down to the left, down to the right, or up through here, you're going to encounter gift shops. There is a literal maze of gift shops that you have to walk through to get to any of the animal exhibits. But then once you do, there's all kinds of fun stuff. You can do the lions have a little walkover so they can be on both sides. The flamingos, the elephants. So you have all this, and then I've got it connected to the other half of Chirpy Land, where you can have the little amusement park and all the setups. I've got a bunch of redundant plazas. Maybe it's a little bit much. And this is actually a unique building from one of the DLCs. I forget which. Little panda sanctuary. But you can do stuff like that, and then you can effectively manage the individual parks. You can change income and expenses. There's certain policies that may apply regarding animal ethics, the profitability of the park, how you promote it, whether you do fireworks or not. I don't do that because it would bother the animals. How you handle garbage. We could probably look at these being a little bit better to the environment and the world of our Sims. But at least currently we're mostly set up for money making, which is how we got the $1 billion down there and the overlapping cash. We certainly didn't get it by being altruistic and utopian. But so park life is really fun like that. You can also abuse it. And I'll show you like a little bit over here of how you can abuse it. So park and campus areas can't overlap with one another. But you can have, like in this case, this little isolated park that's inside of the bigger campus area. So in this case, is a great example. So people are coming and going from the game right now. We could hang out until a game ends, and then it's particularly obvious how useful this is. But essentially what happens is when people leave, the way that they leave is through this park, and they come up here and they go to the metro station that's way down here. And let's say you're leaving a game at the basketball arena and you're going this way. Maybe you're leaving baseball or football and you dump out into here. By pathing people through these parks, you can charge them money on their way to charge them money at the metro. So they take the metro and they pay money to get here. They walk through a park and pay money to get to the stadium, where they also pay a ticket entry fee. So it's a great way to make money. It's a little cheesy. I mean, quite literal cheesing money out of The Sims. But you could do like little things like that. Again, so with the parks, there's regular city parks, amusement parks, zoos, and nature reserves. And I'm a fan of that one a lot. I think the university is great as well, campus DLC. So you have these different schools that once you go through and unlock and level all this stuff up, which one do we have? So you get these schools of science, school of medicine, school of law. If you had done a different school like the liberal arts or the trade campus, you get these different buildings that you unlock at the end of the campus area, and they all have a different knock-on effect on your school. So what does this do? This increases campus attractiveness, increasing all generic zoned industry income while reducing water consumption and sewage outlet. This income from all commercial zones is increased, and also keeping an eye on the jail cell occupants, increasing patrol car count, jail capacity, and police department efficiency. So there's 3 buildings for each type. If you have a big enough city, you could do all of them in one city. I guess we're going to try that to do the academic works achievement. But that's another fun one where you can, again, you're using all the same mechanics. You paint an area. Is that area a park or a campus or an industry? The industry has a lot more science to it. So these are set up pretty complex. All of my industry areas, there's ore, oil, farming, and forestry. They are all set up on their own completely independent highway exit, and they all have a cargo train station as well that runs in and out of the area. You can see I've cheesed the placement of this so that the cars drive straight in and straight out. and they're not stopping and turning in front of one another. It still backs up quite a bit because it's very heavily serviced over here, but it does the trick. We've got all these barracks. Each of them do a 5% efficiency increase, so 20 of them gives us an extra 100%. And then the buildings themselves, so in this case, ore, we're farming a lot of stuff here. We've got the standard ore fields, and then there's the Vegemite, this black tar that is poisonous and tainting the land. This is Vegemite. But we process all our stuff here. So we take those raw ores, turn them into metals, turn them into glass, right? Is that the other thing that we do over here? And then the factories that are in each area use a bunch of different ingredients. In this case, glass and metals are the two that are common to this area. And then we import the other stuff. I mentioned it before, but like you can use warehouses to store a bunch of the excess. So we're storing the excess glass, animal products, anything that we're processing here, right? Anything that we need, the metals, the planned timber, all the things that go into the factories here are all stored locally. And the stuff that's produced here, is the things that we use more of anyways in these local factories. And that's just a thing that I repeat a bunch of times over. I think there's a game that just won, so here he goes. A bunch of people pouring through, or there should be a decent number. Honestly, not that many. They probably went the other way because it was from the other stadium, or it's happening up here and I just didn't notice. The baseball game let out. Either way, those DLCs are particularly fun, I think. Industries, I've got the oil set up. I've got forestry, and I've got my healthcare industry over here. THC, you can't spell healthcare without THC. Don't ask us what we're growing in there. It's none of your business. Stay out. Keep away. You ever thought about the warehouse in the commercial district? Yes, very, very key. I didn't know about that for a long time, actually. But since Industries came out, right, I had a ton of problems with not enough goods. And it completely changes the way, like, you're exporting goods. Because they're producing so much, and if you're probably building those off on the edge of your map, it's like, oh, the quickest way to get rid of these is to just export them. And then all of a sudden, all your local industries have problems where you can direct all that effort to storing it locally. There's one place that gets all the deliveries, and then when one shop runs out, it's like, oh, a truck runs locally from here to there, and it doesn't have to worry about the highway. Like you're focusing all that traffic too, which is really cool. Is there a way you could do a walkthrough play that explains everything you're doing? Yes. So there are I don't do that as usually on a live stream per se, but there are a ton of seasons of the Let's Play, and a lot of them are like, especially like the first 5 episodes are almost always step by step, or I will introduce a concept and then you repeat that concept, and I just like build out a bunch of blocks using the same concept. And fast forward time a little bit basically. But especially the early seasons, like you can see some pretty bad builds from me, but talking through all the steps and how everything works. And then I also have a dedicated how-to series. So check, there's a ton of content if you're looking to kind of get into new building, if you're new to building, and especially if you are on console, that's what most of my seasons are. I think I've got like 14 seasons of Let's Plays, and 2 of them are on PC. Most of them are on the original Xbox version or the remastered Xbox version, and that applies equally to PlayStation and PlayStation Remastered, and to some extent the Switch version even as well. But that one is a little bit more limited and only has After Dark and Snowfall DLCs. So there's a lot of mechanics that will just never come to the Switch, unfortunately. Yeah, not fuel for the power stations. Technically not, right? Reason you ask is you forgot how to play. Well, I mean, I definitely have some builds you can follow along, get inspired, and be reminded of all the buttons and all the how-tos. There's 2 main how-to series that I have. If you go to my channel, you can't miss them. There's sections that are broken out specifically for them. Excited for the new bundle coming out. Nice to see new content for us console players. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm a little worried about race day. I think it's going to be a bit of a novelty. There's bikes are okay. I would like to see a marathon running through some of my cities, and I would be okay with a parade. I don't need blue roads 24/7, 365 to achieve that, though. I feel like. I don't know why it has to be a completely different road type, why it can't just be... Especially since they've added the ability to put fences on the side of roads in this update. Why is the marathon road fences on the interior lane, but people still pile up on the sidewalk? Like, just put those fences where you put other fences and make them pop up during an event. Like, it seems like that would be such an easier way to do it, rather than have the blue lanes the whole time, unless I'm not understanding something about all the videos people have posted. I'm so, and not only that, but as a console player, we talked about this earlier, but they were like in the dev release, oh, you left click to add a fence to a road or right click to remove it. And we're trying to figure out, like, and they say, like, they even call out, like, just like trees. But, like, you can't remove trees from a path. You have to downgrade the road. So I'm really interested to see how that works, because I feel like they forgot, like, there's a very simple way to do it on PC, and I'm going to assume that they forgot to give us the simple way to do it. And we're probably going to have to, like, downgrade, upgrade roads in place to get rid of fences. It'll be interesting. I don't know. So find out here tomorrow for sure. I'm gonna buy it, and I'll be streaming again tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. If you want to check it out. If you have any reservations and you don't want to buy it yet, buy it tomorrow night after you check it out here. I promise to give you my honest takes. I have highly praised many DLCs over the years. I was also a very active and vocal critic of CS2 very early on, so much to the point that they removed me from their partner program, and I don't get keys anymore. But that's okay, because I will always value being honest more over getting some free keys for a game. And if they can't take the criticism, I mean, they built a game that was so bad they got fired for it. So I don't know. Maybe some of my criticism was warranted. Old Let's Plays are golden for console. It's how your city will look without the mods and added functionality. I mean, you can see a lot of growth too. Like, one of the things I like about my old builds is everybody starts someplace, and I have a documented history of how terrible my cities used to look. So, wanted the parade to be in my downtown, but the pathway thing is strange, right? It'll be kind of cool to, like, see once, but I don't want blue lanes down my main street. But, like, Boston Marathon, I commented on Egg's video on the official channel, but I'm just part of the noise. But Egg did that video, and he was like, make sure you have alternate routes to make sure that, you know, that you're not backing up traffic on marathon days. And I was like, dude, you should see what we do to Boston. We do not give a bleep about your traffic. People just, like, don't work. They don't, like, it's a day off. Marathon day is a day off because the city shuts down. You don't need to provide alternate routes. You need to have an event that actually lasts an in-game day, and days can't take a literal month and then shut down the industry in your entire city for a quarter because you had a marathon one day. Like, they need to figure out a way to balance the timing of it, or, you know, I don't know. You can't have everything, but I'm really interested to see it. There's, like, so it's Tantalus's first kind of project on their own. They've been storing Cities 1 for a while, but it's been mostly content packs, and they haven't, like, done, I don't think, their own DLC technically, their own expansion. So we'll see. I'm concerned about it, is all I will say. Based on what I've known about past DLCs, and they either gave us some new tools for managing roads and fences, or they forgot about console, and I'm betting it's the forgot about console part. Korean and Japan DLCs were a good way to build Asian towns in your city. There wasn't enough variety, right? They need, like, the region packs to come to to come to Cities 1. Give us a bunch of free buildings because we've been paying for these assets for years and years and years. And they probably think like, oh, well, we'll just keep collecting from the people that buy all the stuff, which is a philosophy. But you could also like, how did people see the Steam numbers for the free-to-play weekend? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how many people were popping on Cities 1 free-to-play, like 30,000 compared to the 15,000 peak of Cities 2. Like, people still love this game, and new people would love this game. I think they should give them more reasons to step into it, which offering them a bunch of free buildings above baseline would be a good way to get people in. Like, they could really use some free region pack updates is all I'm saying. Then again, I don't know how long in the tooth this game is getting and how much more visual assets variations it can support. Give us a way to manage everything. That'd be cool. I'd love to be able to share cities with people too. Like, you could start from a template, maybe. Like, I could give you a bunch of, you know, like the veins of a city, and you could start from there if you weren't going to want to build it up on your own. Or we could share projects back and forth. Like, that'd be so cool. I believe that they could show this game some love and continue it for another 5 years. What scares me is they may not show it the love and still continue with it for 5 years. But like, we don't need Cities 2. Stop Cities, like, forget Cities 2. Cities 2, and here's the thing, and you like, Egg will differ with me on this. If anybody knows Overcharge Egg, he does still some beautiful unmodded Cities 2 gameplay. I do not think, I have 60 hours of Cities 2 gameplay since the alpha stage in 2021. And it just, for me, is not as fun to play. It's not fun to play, period. Every time I do, I'm like, I would rather be playing Cities 1. I play it for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so boring and terrible. I'm going back to Cities 1. I like the game better. It doesn't have to be the best graphics. It doesn't have to have all the new bells and whistles. But like, they don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, stop wasting time, in my opinion, delivering a game that needs mods to an audience that can't leverage those mods. If you're not going to support mods on console and you're relying on the community and the modders to keep things fresh, like, look at the press release that they have to put out every time they do an update. Hey, update's coming, mods are probably going to break. Here's how you don't break your mods. Here's how you save your game in the current state, or here's how you troubleshoot mods and report problems. Like, it is a huge part of every game update that it's probably going to break some of your mods. They give it to the modders ahead of time too, just like the people that they want to review it and share it. If it is that central and important to your game, then you're not building a game. You're building a platform for mods. You're not building a game that can support itself. You're assuming that the community is going to support it for you. I hope the new devs change that around, but that's already baked into CS1, and Tantalus isn't, inventing a new game. They're bolting on top of it. I hope they give them some time and some resources. And again, I think a better way to invest time at this point is not trying to give us an inferior Cities 2 experience. Give us remastered 2.0. And I don't mean sell it to us. I mean, like, make this game better, stand it up a little bit. I know that there's things they can do. There's things that they could do to improve this experience and continue selling more content to it. I think at some point you have to cut off Cities 1 on base Xbox and PlayStation 4. At some point it can't continue to support, but like, I bet you could stretch this for a little while. Let's do that. I don't know. Am I like Cities, like, the idea of Cities 2 is really cool until you play it and you find out that it's boring and sluggish and broken and it doesn't know its own identity. And then you're just like, oh, I'll just go back to Cities 1. You've also already invested, potentially hundreds of dollars in Cities 1. So that's another question to ask yourself. How badly do you want Cities 2? Do you want it bad enough to buy another couple $100 of DLC? Because keep this in mind too. This is the thing. This is the biggest slap in the face, if you ask me. So they kept Colossal Order in the picture until they got what they paid them for. Paradox wants Colossal Order to deliver Cities 2 and Unlimited Edition content, Ultimate Edition, whatever the hell it is. The last DLC that came out in December. That's what they want. That's what they got paid for. They delivered it, and they were like, great, thanks for delivering it. You're fired. Get out. We're hiring a new company. And that new company comes in like, hey, it's Christmas break. We've had a look at the code. We're going to have some cool stuff for you next year. They didn't miss a quarter. December was the release of the Ultimate Edition content, and they are pushing out their first paid updates to Cities 2 in March. It's so blatantly profit-driven. They could not miss a quarter without putting out content. They're doing what the other team couldn't do, crank out content so they can keep selling it. And if you don't think that's a major motivating factor, go check out Paradox International's website. They are they're a company that has public shareholders. They have to tell you how they make money and how they're going to intend to make more money to increase your shareholder value. This is what companies have to do that are publicly traded in any capacity. They have to explain how they make money and how they made money last year and last quarter, and how they're going to do even better for you and your investment next quarter. And the central theme of Paradox International, Paradox Interactive, not Paradox International, Paradox Interactive, that's the airport in Springdale Season 4. Paradox Interactive, how they make money is through a few key brands, Cities being the main culprit, and then by supporting it with some development and content creator packs that are developed by the community. So like that is their main brand. It is how they make money, and they literally did not miss a quarter. So are they concerned about pushing you a good product, or is it good enough to get out this quarter? And I'm pretty sure that is the more important driving factor. Now, I mean, this is how companies and corporations work. This is how capitalism works. This is how the world economy is probably going to eat itself in the next 15 years. Which doesn't bring me a lot of pleasure to say. You know, like I have a 9-year-old daughter. She may witness some spectacular failure of the world economy in general. Like, this can only go on so long. We can only replace how many hundreds of millions of jobs with AI before there's nobody left making money to buy the AI subscription anymore, you big dummies. Like, the whole thing falls apart on its face. But I just think, like, if you're trying to recover a brand like Cities 2, maybe you can miss one quarter. It's too late now. Like, it's coming out tomorrow. You already did all the promotional material, but like, maybe you could have missed one quarter. Like, does anyone remember when No Man's Sky came out, how broken and disappointing it was? And it wasn't even broken. It just like it was half of a game and none of the promises. Does anyone remember what the No Man's Sky team did? They disappeared. They didn't post on social media for weeks. Everybody thought they took the money and ran, because they weren't going to tell you anything until they had something concrete. And I think that's what Cities needs, at least for like this first cycle of reboot. There was some honest communication. They started giving us some cool updates like, hey, snowfall's on buildings too. What an amazing idea. Like, I'm from the Northeast. I've seen snow before, but it was really awkward how they handled it. Snowfall's on buildings now. Like, it's these tiny little wins that are like, yeah, that's awesome. But how broken was it that we were excited about that in the first place? I just think they could have gone a quarter without trying to sell us something. I'm not reviewing the CS2 stuff because I bought the Ultimate Edition and all that stuff and then never used it because I played it for 5 minutes and I was like, oh, it's still boring. So I'm not in a rush to do that, but I will be playing the new content on CS1, specifically remastered on Xbox, tomorrow. So check back at 9 p.m. Eastern for that, if you're interested. So two things. Check it out early, buy it yourself, and come tell me in the chat what you think of it tomorrow at 9. Or hold your money and get an honest take and opinion tomorrow before you spend away. I'm going to go over all three. We'll look at all the buildings. We've got plenty of money. We don't even have to go into creative mode. Like, what do we got in the bank here at River Run? $1,032,000,000. So we'll drop some of those into the city. We can afford to. With our 32 million above baseline, billions are new baseline. We don't want to go broke. We're gonna stay above $1 billion. Really interested in the new data view. The data view for unemployment could look cool. It could help, but again, like it's something that we can manage once you know what you're looking for. For me, I would buy everything, but I already have to plug my Xbox to a diesel generator to run my over 80K. Okay. Well, then that's expensive during wartime too now. Good luck on your gas prices, everybody. At least we're coming out of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. People are still playing SimCity 4 today, yes. Lots of more people playing City Skylines 1 than 2. Remember back when CS2 revealer trailer came out, how excited we all were? Man, it came out totally different. Yeah. Those were fun times, all the speculation. Everybody was like, oh, it's in Unreal because this gas station's from Unreal. And I was just like, guys, look at their job postings. They're not hiring Unreal devs. They're hiring Unity devs. It's a trailer. It's not game footage. It says so right there at the bottom of the screen. They used Unreal to make it because it looked better than what they could do in Unity. But everyone was so dead set. Oh, it's gonna be Unreal. Unreal has some really cool stuff. Like the Matrix game City looks amazing. And technically all the AI and the Lumos lighting and the handling traffic units, like that all could be done in Unreal. But the modders don't like it because it's more difficult to recompile. I still say, like, hey, modding is great, but can we build a functional game first that we don't have to fix with mods? That would be an amazing first step. That would be great. It's a novel concept, I know, but, like, I mean, hey, obviously I'm not a game dev. Another map pack. Depending. Map pack, I think the latest map pack was lazy. I am sorry, like... I sometimes have to walk a line in my head and I have to like say things out because like I don't want to offend the creator, but I also don't want to filter my feedback that last map pack was lazy. Specifically, like the maps were really flat, but they have the balls to charge for these intersections. Okay, map pack 3. Like look at this. Do we have a relatively flat piece of land? Okay, map pack 3. Look at that flow. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful little intersection. Map pack 3. Slightly adapted map pack 3. Where else is map pack 3? Map pack 3, partial cloverleaf. Like these are great functional intersections. Even the diamond interchange is loosely based off of the diamond interchange in map pack 3. Where is it? This one here. Right? The dog bone, technically. Okay. So that's map pack 3. Map pack 4, they have the balls to charge for this stuff. Like, okay. If anyone's been catching up on my old content, go back to like 2017 and look at my first city with 6-lane roads everywhere and watch where I make a highway exit that is a frickin' roundabout of highway raised over another highway with way too close interchanges. Like, this is not impressive looking at all. I'm sorry, like, I don't know, like, I mean, I've made some tutorials on some pretty cool interchanges. Like, if I'm going to put something up that I'm charging for money, I know I'm not putting my name on an intersection like that. I put my name on it in 2017 when I didn't know what the hell I was doing on the original Xbox on 9 tiles when we had like a quarter of the roads that we have available to us today. Love 3 and 4 interchanges. I guess just 3. LOL. Yeah. Because you forgot about this one, right? What's better than a highway with a roundabout? How about 2 highways with a roundabout in the middle? like, I'm stuck. I was stuck in the recline position. My chair wouldn't pop out. It's not good. Like, I've talked about this publicly. Like, they asked me to make footage for a remastered trailer, and I played the game. I was like, I'm not putting my fucking name on that. No, it was really broken at launch. I said no. And like, if they were like, hey, we're going to pay you to create some intersections. Like, I was saying it for a long time. I don't even know. He might still be streaming on Twitch, but I know Yumble's not doing anything on YouTube as far as I know. He had a killer channel and it just like, it flopped with the release of 2. And like, he got close to a play button. He's closer than I am. And it just like, his channel growth froze around CS2. Like, nobody cared about it. Probably wasn't worth investing the time. But like, he could have done some great stuff. Some amazing intersections, I bet. What is this? What the hell is this? Like, I don't mean to offend the creator. But like, if this is the best you could come up with, you should have told them like, hey, maybe I'm not the right person for this job. Instead of phoning this in and then saying like, oh yeah, no, send it. Ship it. It's beautiful. So yeah, I could go for another map pack, but I would like them to put some thought into the maps, and if they include intersections, to also put some thought into the intersections. It makes my head hurt. Intersections are the simplest thing to make in a cities game. Who would pay money for that? I mean, that's the thing though. Like let me ask you this, Phantom. Are you playing on PC or console? Because on PC, especially with Move It and Anarchy, yeah, I probably wouldn't bother. I think I downloaded a few intersections over the years, but I play on PC. Okay, so here's what I would like you to do. Pick up a copy of the game on console or find a friend who has it on console and try making an interchange without a mouse, without Move It, and without Anarchy. Because you say, like, oh, who would pay for that? Console players. Console players would pay for that because it's a pain in the butt. It's a wicked pain in the butt, man. It's bad. For all the good and for all that I love about the game, like, finicking with intersections can take you a lot of times. No thanks, I like having my sanity, but that's the thing, right? That's who would pay for an intersection. Like, and I think people need to understand, like, there is still a huge audience in the console market for things like that, but also like all these content creator packs that come out, and like as a PC player, you might say, look, hey, like, why do I need Brooklyn and Queens DLC when I can go download 800 different buildings that Darf has uploaded to the workshop that are beautiful representations of late 1800s, early 1900s New York and Boston. You don't need the Brooklyn. You don't need to pay $10 to Paradox to get Brooklyn. You could get way better Brooklyn buildings on the workshop. We have to pay for it. We have to pay for those mods, those CCPs. And in some cases, if they're going to throw in some good intersections with it, I'll use some of those because they're a lot easier than trying to do it yourself, or they might be an easier way to get started at least than make some modifications to it. But that's but that is the thing, like, right, there is still a market, especially on CS1 on consoles, because they're still supplying. This update that comes out tomorrow is coming out on, sure, Xbox Series S and X and PlayStation 5 and PC, but it is also coming to Xbox X and Xbox S, the previous generation from a decade ago. It's coming to PlayStation 4. Like, they are still porting stuff into that 9-tile city builder. 3x3, 9 tiles, that's it. That's the whole space. It's way more limited. And then you're trying to cram in all these DLCs into one map, like, it'll never happen. You got to build 9 cities to do 9 different DLCs. Console players can still use the mouse and keyboard. You could. It's not a very good... Like, if you play PC as well, I would argue that you can't use mouse and keyboard because you can't remap the controls, and they're not the same as the default controls on cities on PC, and they are infuriating. They are infuriatingly different if you try and bounce back and forth. So much to the point where I was like, no, I'm just going to keep playing on console. The one time I think I hate controller is painting zoning in particular. That's the thing that gets me. Painting districts. Painting zoning is okay. Console market got effed because the promise with CS1 was going to be replaced with CS2. Proprietary mods platform was supposed to be built for console users. Yeah. That was such a weird thing too. I have been beating that drum from very early on, Phantom, because there are still people out there that do not understand, and I occasionally get pushback, which is like, Cities 2 is a better game because of mods. Full stop, hands down, 10 toes down, whatever you want to emphasize, like, it is a better game with mods. Fight me, Egg. Egg's the only one who's going to fight me on that. Edge of map fog, hold on.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
Okay, thank you, Todd. So it's a better game with mods, but if you're relying on mods to fix it, you can't then sell that game to the console community for the same price when they can't fix the game the same way. They can't make the game as fun to play as it is to play on PC. That's okay. We've got Paradox mods. It's built into the game. It's for everybody, but not code mods. And people don't understand, that's the thing that makes the game different. It's nice that they gave, the region packs away. I think they could still do that in CS1. Give us some region pack CCPs instead of making us pay for everything. Might be a nice good faith and a way to bring some people back into the game. Like some of you that have mentioned you don't have all the DLC. Maybe put the game down for a while, but there's a brand new region pack that has all Eastern European buildings and you can build, a communist bloc town. Maybe that would bring you back and maybe you'd buy some other stuff to get into it. I think there's a knock-on effect it can have. So can you show the MIT campus if you can, and also City Hall? So I don't know where I don't really have a City Hall. And I don't have the MIT technically in this one. And the radio packs, sheesh, yeah. And that's the thing, some of the radio stations are fine and cool, but also you can listen to them all on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube. And in all those cases, if you're doing it without an ad blocker, you're giving Paradox money anyways, so they don't care. And you could just as easily implement those into your PC gameplay as you can an Xbox playing Spotify in the background or something else. The reason I stopped playing was because it was getting boring. I mean, I come back and challenge myself with different things. For example, can I make a city with no cheats that gets to $1 billion? The answer is yes. What can you do on a 9-tile city or a 1-tile city or, some stupid arbitrary thing. But then there's also you can go look at recreating certain things. And this is very much inspired by Seattle. Specifically a tiny little part of it that then the rest of it kind of spawned from. But this is loosely based around University of Washington, Seattle, and specifically the pink cherry blossom trees that they have in the quad. That was kind of the starting point. I was I kind of want to build something like that where it is in the southern part of the city, trapped between the river and the highway, bigger downtown area, and then it just all spun up from there. So sometimes it's about finding the right inspiration. And that will bring some excitement back to the game. Because if you're just playing the same city, I think it can definitely get boring. I need to reset and do a new build, do something different, get inspired in a different way. And it's not necessarily about building one-to-one for me as much as it is just getting inspired with an idea and kind of going from there. Multiplayer city versus city. Do they forget to add Paradox mods to Remastered Edition? I mean, basically. A lot of people ask the original one. I don't know if it still says it on this one, but there was a quote unquote mods on Xbox, and people would ask me all the time, why don't you talk about the mods? Why don't you Xbox has mods? Tell us about those. They're assets, they're buildings. Again.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
Sorry, that's the edge of map fog. It's a thing around here. It comes up a lot. It comes up a lot more in Remastered because now when it goes to do random cameras, it can spawn on vehicle map. Paco has appeared. I hope you're well. Constantly restart and then get bored. Yeah. I know people that have started literally hundreds and hundreds of cities and they play till they get bored and then they start over. That's that's okay too. It's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I know people that play the game that way. I come back to the same handful of cities. Baco, what are you playing lately? It's going pretty good. It is going pretty good. We got new DLC coming for Cities tomorrow. We'll see how that shapes up. I think they're doing it for Cities 1 and Cities 2. But it'll be interesting. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be broken. At least for us console folk. But things are well. Apple Buddy's in her master's now for social work. So she is crazy busy. I keep bugging her like, you got to pull a random stream out of your pocket sometime. I think she was on, I had her on like 2 months ago for a Bandle session. I think you might have actually been around for that one. With the limits of the PC version, I constantly abandon half-built cities. I wish someone would get me the DLC I'm missing. Well, you know, stay tuned here, and we'll do some giveaways. I'm trying to think. I don't get keys anymore, so I got to buy them myself. But it's easier if it's in North America. Are you in North America? Well, because you could potentially qualify for some giveaways. It's next to impossible to give away keys in other regions. Hold on, Todd.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
Thank you, Todd. Tell them about the rendering.
All new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology.
Guess how much detail we have?
16 times the detail.
In the UK, it's such a pain going across regions. I know, Paco, I'm pretty sure we did a giveaway for you at one point, and at least like Nintendo cards are North America wide. So Canada, Mexico, and US tends to be, or at least they were, if I recall. But when you start to get across the pond, it gets complicated. We just need to agree on a global currency that isn't Bitcoin. Think it still work that way? Yeah, I think so too. I'm not sure if it would changed. Hard to get stuff across the water during wartime. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy to do it before. Then again, did we ever get out of wartime technically? Used to be gold, yeah. Now there's stuff at the dispensary is worth more than gold. By weight, at least. Also, don't try and ingest the gold. It's not good for you. All right, so I'm rambling at this point. Does that count as edge of map fog?
And even view
Todd thinks so.
Distant weather systems across the map.
Y'all been in wartime since like forever? I know, like. I was gonna say we like it as a people, but we don't all. We definitely don't all. Peace, mouse, and chat. City Skylines interchanges. Do you got anything good? Go to channel. What are you working on? No videos? You gotta get some videos up with a name like that. You got the market cornered. Rum and sugar was our global currency. I'm okay with that. Why is all the rum gone? All my maps are foggy on Xbox. Can I change that? Well, actually, there is a weather feature in options. There is one that's like, I thought there was like a fog or something. Maybe it's a remastered thing. I thought there was a way to move the fog from the map, but I could be wrong. Oh, Facebook group, 73K. Send some people over here. I need a play button. I'm at 74,000. Send some people this way. I need another game to pop. I got really unlucky, so like I developed a bit of a following for Cities, for Fallout, and for Skate, like at different times, these 3 different games. And Skate pushed out a terrible microtransaction fest in Skate period, aka Skate 4. Cities pushed out Cities 2 and like killed the community and the desire for people to watch content. And then Fallout Season 1 comes out, all the hype is there, and then they break the game with the next gen update. Season 2 comes out and they break the game with the anniversary update. Like, could I just get a game that I love that people are looking for content that doesn't release a crappy update and drive the community away? That would be awesome. I have fog strength all the way down. You saw that. I didn't see it, and I was staring straight at the screen. Dude, I used to love Skate. Life After Health. I don't know if you've ever checked it out. You should if you have not afterwards. Go to my page, go to videos, and sort by oldest. And the very first video is a Skate video with a song that is by Queens of the Stone Age. And it's a copyright claim, so it's not available all over the world. It's filtered out of the, unfortunately, in a bunch of countries. But that was my very first video, and the reason that I created this channel was because of Skate. So I think it's a fun video. It's me pulling crazy tricks on Skate 3, and then I have a couple other videos that I'll dig out on the Discord at some point. But they have copyright songs that will not even let me post them, unfortunately. And they're kind of like, the whole thing is edited to the songs, like all the cuts are there. I'd have to, it'd just be a pain to get more songs. In case you're wondering, Magnificent 7 by The Clash is one that I could not post. And then another one I could not post, which was a pretty fun edit, was Gone Daddy Gone cover by Gnarls Barkley. But the song that did make it, that exists, it's like how to be a millionaire, how can I be a millionaire, whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Queens of the Stone Age, my very first video from like 2010 or something like that. Most games nowadays tend to kill themselves with their updates. Yeah, there's been some bad ones that either like didn't make it off the ground. Like, man, Jeff Keighley had some egg on his face with High Guard, huh? Let me close out our award show with High Guard, and it lasted a couple days. You'll be sorry, gaming community. Oh, will we, Jeff? Will we? Better pick the closing slot better next year. That, like, I get excited. Oh, Todd, stop.
And even view distant weather systems across the map.
I get really excited for the Game Awards because they're, one, I mean, like, it's cool to see like who the industry recognizes. They seem to be understanding that they need to give time to the people and stop like shuffling them off stage at least. But they also give out like 15 awards in 30 seconds, announcing them on the side of the stage, and like they don't even get to come up and collect their award or say anything. So it's like, if it's not important enough to like even show a picture of the person or give them like 30 seconds to talk, don't give out the award. You don't care about it that much, obviously. Or you think that the community doesn't care about it. Really what it is they need to run X number of ads because they pay for those slots. Some of the indies get free slots, but it's basically like a big commercial. Like, let's stop pretending that it isn't. And High Guard bought that last slot, and it didn't get them very far because we didn't need another hero shooter. Overwatch 2 removed the 2 and went back to Overwatch. What was that about? I mean, They should have just done that to begin with. They should have just kept it Overwatch, just kept updating it. Especially to give out another free-to-play game. Like, what were you doing? Imagine if they gave CS1 a massive overhaul. I mean, in a way, Remastered was at least getting the console version caught up. I know that the PC version could use some love. It does hitch quite a bit. I haven't played it on my new rig, actually. I should check it out. I upgraded my computer because I saw the impending apocalypse, and I know that the The video cards and RAM are getting more expensive, and I got a hit. I finally found one where it was like, okay, it's cheaper to buy this pre-built than it is for me to assemble the parts myself. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm gonna scoop this up. So now I have a 5080 and a 9800X 3D, which is a considerable upgrade from a 3080 and specifically the 10700K that I had. So it has definitely opened up some more possibilities. It's weird to say, but like the 3080 was feeling old in a lot of new titles because they're like, oh, you need a minimum 3080 Ti or a 3090. Like what? That's a minimum? That's the bare recommended specs. Not even like can't even crank it up with that. It's sad where we've come to. PC needs a remaster. It definitely has limits and shows its age when it was first released. Funny that the console remaster is better version of CS1. I mean, I don't know about that. There is a lot of bugs and things that happen with it. It is not by any means perfect, but it's certainly the best way to play it on console right now. And I said earlier, I'll say it again, like having played CS2, I don't want a console version of CS2 without mods. Not the way that it currently stands. So I think they should not waste development efforts on that and put those development efforts into making remastered the best it can be. Give it some new tools, show it a little bit of love, give it a 1.5 update. Crashes my Series S when I play for too long. I don't know. I don't know about this French whispering in my ear either. It's a minute till midnight. The song, not the time. We've still got 28 minutes. But yeah, CS1 could sure use a lot of love. Bruh, where's my notification? It was 2.5 hours ago is where it was. You missed a lot of ranting tonight too. Like I feel like it's been a very conversational stream tonight. Not as much about building. We got the DLC coming tomorrow. Anybody that just joined, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be going live with all 3 DLCs. We've got $1 billion in the bank in this city, so we're going to drop everything in and move it around and see where we actually drop it into a real build. There's new train stations and the Brutalist stuff. So we'll check out the content creator packs. We will also reluctantly check out the race day stuff. Adia, I'll give you my little rant. I think it's going to be broken because they explain in the post that the same way you can add trees to a road by left-clicking, right-clicking, right? We can change the trees in a road. You can just right-click to undo that. How do you right-click on console? I don't think you can right-click on console. So I'm pretty sure that the ability to remove, so they say it works like the fences works exactly like the trees. And if there's no way to remove the trees from the road, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a way to remove the fences. So at that point, let's do a little test here. We're going to put a weird tree on the road. We're going to, what is this, a one-way or a two-way? It's a two-way? I did a two-way here? That's kind of weird. So if we upgrade this road to regular road, now if we upgrade this back to trees, and if it still has the conifers, 100% it's going to be broken. I still have faith though that it could still be broken, but if the conifers are still here, it remembers the state of the road, it's going to remember the state of the fences. Thank God for that. That is a tiny little consolation. This is one way, but the entrance was not? Like, why did I have one segment of two-way? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And this should be a two-way? Yeah. And that's an out. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. So my philosophy is, so maybe a right stick press. I don't think so. Hold on. But I'm going to try it. So we plant a tree. Right stick press. No. B backs us out of the tool. Y brings up the brush for the trees, mind you. The fences are going to be a little bit different because the fences also have... And this is where I think, well, I went into the whole rant earlier. I don't need to do it again, but the fences, where are the fence? No, this is not the fence. This is the fences. We still have like the same options. So like there's an upgrade option. So like, can we downgrade? But how do you downgrade? Like, how do you select no fence to downgrade it? Basically, I'm pretty sure I'm going out on a limb and saying that that's probably going to be broken tomorrow, and we'll spend a lot of time trying to figure that out. Hopefully they have the foresight for a remove fence toggle. This is a no judgment zone, sir. I don't know. There will definitely be heavy-handed judgment tomorrow, but if I enjoy it and it's worthwhile and that is a tiny little thing, I could still recommend. Well, I guess I was going to say buying it. It's part of the free update. I can still recommend the free update. If it's not horribly broken, but too bad you're getting it anyways, so it's not really your choice. But we'll see. I think that's something that we're going to have to be careful with. Because today, what do you have to do? Today, you have to break out that fence tool. And if you don't have a straight road, right, as soon as it starts to break off from the grid, well, now you got to waste your node count because... Can we get it right there? No? Okay, anyways. Now you got to start wasting your node count to make all these points and, pop. Okay, so if we turn the road guidelines off, we can go to the grid. And then you could do that and just like try and keep it that way. But you're going to waste nodes. Now, apparently these do not add to the node count, but we're already using the node count on the road. So it's fair. It's just like a part of the road now. But I don't think there's going to be a smooth way to roll it back. And then at that point, like, how do you get rid of the fence on the road? You have to upgrade it to a road that does not have fence. I would assume they said most do, so maybe highways don't. So you can upgrade it to a highway and then back, but will it remember the fence? If it does, we're screwed and we have to completely delete the road and rebuild it. I'm intrigued. But I've been around long enough city updates that I suspect that's going to be broken. Because unless they're giving us new tool or rethinking how that tool functionality works by mapping buttons in a different way, and I still think there's a really easy way to do it, because what's part of the problem is what we do with the D-pad with trees, right? Like I can't D-pad to rotate because that increases the size of the brush. What if we did it the same way we do with a road? When we have the tool out, there's a little right bumper pop-up. And I can change the size and shape of the brush there, and then I can do my rotation with the tool. And then the same thing, like we could do, I don't know, how would you do an add remove? Like A to place it. You can't really X to remove it because X goes direct to the bulldozer tool. So like, I don't even know. There needs to be like a different tool functionality for it. So maybe it'll be like Bridges and Piers, just lower the Golden Gate Bridge into the ground for the aesthetic. Would be fun if somebody made a mod that when you reach the node limit, your entire city gets nuked or obliterated by a comet, forcing you to start over. That's aggressive. I'm like, maybe I wanted to take a picture first. Nope. It just starts loading Fallout. It would be fun to play your city in another game. And I still think that they were going to go for something like that. At least the other way around with Life by You. I bet they were going to let you bring those Sims into your city somehow. And it's like the crossover that never happened. That fell apart spectacularly. Well, just stop running away, tactical nuke. Turn off disasters, but not forever. GTA in your city? That would be very cool. Very, very cool. Running around first person with a bazooka, taking it out on all the traffic jams. The NPCs use the same ugly models exactly. They were totally planning on that, I bet. They never owned up to it. I never heard anything about it, at least. But I bet that was, like, why else do you have Sims with teeth? Unless you're, like, using the same model. Those models are AI generated, by the way. Okay. Are we 1140? So race day and all the brutalist stuff is free on console? No. The free update is just the fence tool. What else is it? It's the fence tool and something else. The fence tool, the info view, the employment info view. I gotta look it up again. Cities DLC free update. Roadside fences, billboards, 2 placeable billboard props, and the employment info view. Which again, I think if you're managing your city, like you don't have an employment problem. Sure, I might have 12% unemployment, but it's not causing any problems for the businesses. Is it causing problems for those Sims? I don't know. They still have access to the exact same healthcare that everybody else does. They still have access to the same amazing amusement parks that have only had a few fires, like everybody else does. I get nothing for this. This shot didn't really give me anything to go on. They still have the things that pass the wireless electricity from natural disasters, like everyone else does. What is the point of the info view? So the info view, like that you can pull up right now, if we go into people, it'll tell us that there's 10% unemployed. But like notice, like if we look at the houses, what is it telling us about the houses? It's telling us where the age of people live. It's not telling us where the unemployed people are. So we don't know that like, oh, there's a bunch of unemployed people here and the unemployed businesses are over here. So like, how do we get people from there to there? How do we build more jobs closer to here so they don't have to travel as far? That's the kind of insight that you're going to get with this new employment-based info view. So it's kind of cool, but at the same time, just like, if you've got a zone that has a ton of employment problems, like move some people in or get a metro station there and they will come from halfway across the map and wait in a gigantic homunculus at a bus stop near their house just to come to work across the entire city. Like, of course I can't find one now, but these do actually move some people, but not homunculus levels worth. Somewhere in the neighborhoods I know we've got them. I just can't find them right now. There's got to be one around here. Where are all the homunculuses at? There you go. There's one. There's certainly a good number of people down there. Look, there's so many of them. They're literally frozen. Has anyone seen the Rick and Morty episode where they have to dumb down the simulation and like people are just frozen? The mailman walking into the tree, my man, and they play human music on the radio. It's beeps and boops, like 3 notes. That's what this feels like right here, like a simulation that is like trying to work way too hard and they've frozen the resources. There's so many freaking cats, man. They're kind of huge too. Like they're not like house cats. They're like the people that get the partial, like they're half leopard, half cat. And like they're not technically an exotic animal because they still got like 49% cat blood. But they will rip out your throat in one swipe if they get pissed or hungry. That's what those cats look like. Cherry still like the reduced simulation. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It was his pace, man. It was his pace. I get it. Like, some days life moves too fast. You gotta stop and look around once in a while. I could miss it. The old tuxedo cat, yeah, it's just like, it's staring into my soul. Or really, I mean, it's staring into your soul. Is it not? Can we get a shorter person? There we go. He's thinking about pouncing. He's thinking about it. Why do they have leopards as pets? Because they can have leopards as pets. You had a sim wait 2 weeks for a bus? Oh my god. That's a spy cat is what that is. The homunculus is getting worse while we're here. Does he have a name? Oh, we can't get in there, huh? The cat's name is Tony Phillips. Sterling Cooper. We can't get to that at the cat level, unfortunately. That's sad. All right. I should call it quits. Hold on. I should throw it into nighttime mode. And I should call it quits. Because I got work tomorrow. And we all have a busy day of criticizing DLC. Seriously, though, if you want an honest take, check it out here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Don't trust your YouTube notifications. Adia can attest. They don't always work. So if you're around tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, check your local listings. It is daylight savings time here in the U.S. Or whatever when we did the horrible thing with the clocks to make me super tired yesterday. It's that thing. But anyways, 9 p.m. Eastern, whenever that is for you, I will be back and we'll talk about the 2 content creator packs as well as the brand new race day DLC. So come back, check that out. We'll try and go through all the motions. We're at least gonna set up a parade and a marathon. I don't know if I'll do a racetrack, but we're definitely gonna drop in some of the new service buildings and see basically see what's up there with all the new stuff. So again, if you want to hold off on your purchase, not necessarily a bad thing. We'll see what they do with the release. And for all things related to the channel, and if you want to share cities questions or just hang out, there's a group of us over at the link in the chat that Adia just posted, tinyurl.com/movethemouse. That's the Discord. Join us over there or check back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to awkwardly stop this song and play a little outro that we haven't heard on the channel in a while. I don't know if this one's familiar to everybody, but I definitely used it in one of the seasons. I don't remember which. But anyways, this is Orbiter Discovery. I will see you tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. Again, check your local listings. I don't know what time zone you're in, but same time 3 hours ago from now, tomorrow. See you in 21 hours. Bye.